This is Moments with Foo with James Foo Torres, better known as Foo, the show that takes you around the world to share interviews with some of the most successful and relevant people on the planet, hear their stories, and get the most important business lessons they have learned on their road to success, and get exclusive advice on how to implement their success into your life and business. Moments with Foo is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and your host, Foo.
Hello and welcome to Moments with Foo. I'm your host, James Foo Torres, but you can call me Foo, hence the name of the show. And today I have Maureen. She is a content coach, a content creator. She got over 10 million. I think you said that you even go for like over 14 million views recently on a video. And she's been getting the reps. I've been seeing it for a long time. So it's just a matter of time that she got a viral video, and she got it recently. But I'm going to let her tell you more about her and her company and her story. But first, Maureen, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm excited for today's podcast episode. I work full-time as a content creation coach, so I help business owners build their personal brands across social media. That way they can increase their income. So I love doing that like super simply. I'm not huge on hashtags or like all the whole like, oh, you just need to do this one tip. It's like, no, it's consistency. And consistency has built my brand over the last several years. So I love helping other people do the same thing as well.
Yeah, I've been following you for a couple months now, and I've seen you grow. I've seen you do some very cool stuff around the world. So I'm excited for you to give us some of your tips and insider secrets. Like what is it that you're doing that is really working. And we talk about a lot of consistency and all that. So just give us some actionable tips or advice for the audience that might be a content creator or an aspiring content creator that is just procrastinating or just doesn't know how to systemize things.
Yeah, I would definitely tell that person that like ignore the vanity metrics. So ignore the views you're getting, ignore the likes, ignore the followers, and just like schedule it into your calendar that it is a non-negotiable that you upload X number of videos every single day. And my favorite way to grow my personal brand was through short form video content, just because I don't really have time to be in Canva spending 9 hours creating like a Canva post that's like talking about like business strategy. But when I am traveling, like I can pull out my phone, record a 60-second talking video, hit post on TikTok. So for the first 3 months of my brand, I was just uploading 3 videos a day on TikTok. And I actually did that for several months past that. But now I've uploaded over 1,000 videos on TikTok at this point, and that's what just skyrocketed the success of my brand. But it really was consistency and just like upload and ignore the views, because the views will come if you're consistent. Like everyone's now in my DMs being like, oh my goodness, Maureen, how did you get 14 million views on that one video? And that one video I recorded after eating a Caesar salad and I was about to go to the grocery store, and there was no scripting. The description literally said I ate dinner with strangers. There was no hashtags. I just hit post. It took me 58 seconds to film. And now everyone's asking like, oh my goodness, how did you go viral? And it's like, I've been doing this for 2 years. I knew it was going to happen. And then it just took off. And now I have this huge influx of clients. I've been working with clients over the last 2 years, but now I'm really restructuring my business to be able to accept that. But I knew it was going to happen. So it's like, for anyone that's in the beginning stages of content creation, ignore the views, ignore the followers, and schedule in. You will upload 3 videos every single day for at least 3 months before you even consider changing your strategy. And at the end of 3 months, if every video has 5 views, great. Okay, let's pivot. But really, until you upload at least 100 short form videos, you don't even have enough out there to perform that science experiment and to pivot the strategy. Like first, I just want you to get that quantity out there before you focus on, geesh, I need to change my quality. It really comes down to quantity in the beginning stages.
I completely agree. And I just saw a video from Gary Vee saying just get the reps in. Because he says like, hey, if you would have told me 2 years ago that I would have posted this type of post, like a meme post, so people get the attention, and then it slides, and then it goes to the business post, or the actionable tip or advice, right? And he said like, no, I wouldn't know. I just know this because I just get the reps in. I'm like, I'm always in the game. I'm always posting. So then I start seeing what's working, but it's not just because of doing like some research or anything. Just like get in the trenches, right? Like get the reps in and just post so much that then you're gonna figure it out eventually, So
Exactly. I love comparing it to the gym because so many times, like, I see this with new people in the gym and new people in content. They're like, I went to the gym every day for 2 weeks and nothing changed. And I'm like, okay, it was what, 2 weeks? And they'll be like, oh yeah, I went every day for 2 hours a day for 2 weeks. And I'm like, great, yeah, still nothing will change. Like, that's 2 weeks. And then you talk to people who go to the gym every day for 3 years, and all of a sudden, oh, that person's shredded. But it's like, and that person might only go 15 minutes a day, but they go every day for 3 years. And that's what compounds. And I think it's the same way with content. Like, if you're willing to put in the reps and you're willing to show up daily and you're willing to take messy action, I built my whole business on messy action. Like, every rep doesn't have to be perfect, but you just need to get them in every single day and you will catch up. You will get fitter, you will get stronger, you'll be a better content creator. And I think like anytime I wake up and I'm like, you know what, I'm tired, I don't want to record 8 videos today. I'm like, you know what? No, I'm getting in the reps. I might not love it right now, but that's going to build my vision for the future.
yeah, exactly. I know that I've seen you share that you structure you go from TikTok for the most part. That's like your main thing, and then from there you trickle down into repurposing into YouTube Shorts, into Reels, and you have that all systematized. Like you kind of have like some automations and some system that's pretty simple. Can you talk a little bit about that for the audience?
Yeah, I would love to. So anytime I share the fact that my TikToks like automatically download watermark free into a beautifully sorted Google Drive folder, everyone flips out and they're like, how? And I'm like, it's so easy. So anytime I post a TikTok video on automation, it gets sent into a Google Drive. And then inside Google Drive, I've got this massive pool of content. So there's over 1,000 videos in there that are short form of me talking. So hypothetically speaking, if tomorrow I died, which I'm hoping that's not going to happen, but I have like 3 years of content that's pre-scheduled that could go out, and my team will post that for the next 3 years. No one would even know. Like, I could take a 3-year trip to Bali and content still goes out. And it's because I have a content repurposing system. So inside of my main Google Drive folder, I sorted into then Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and then trash content. So it's really just 3 folders and 1 main pool. So all my TikToks funnel into this pool, and then either me or one of my employees will go into that pool and they'll just drag and drop videos into the Instagram Reels folder and the YouTube Shorts folder. So then once a month, I'll get into the Google Drive and I'll just make sure that everything that's chosen for Instagram and chosen for YouTube Shorts looks good, because I have more personal connections on Instagram. So some of the stuff I post on TikTok is a little bit more like bold. I mean, it's not crazy bold, but it's just a little bit like, okay, that was a little too messy, too much messy action. Like, I didn't brush my hair for a day. Like, let's not put that on my Instagram since I have close friends and family following. So I will just audit and make sure it looks good before it goes out on Instagram. And then my team will schedule 60 YouTube videos to go out every single month. Takes me no time at all. And then my YouTube took off last week. And it's like, everyone's asking now. And it's like, it's because of the strategy I've been using for the last 6 months on YouTube. I knew it was going to work, and it's repurposed TikTok. So when you set up the flow, it's so easy. And then your personal brand is omnipresent. And then your clients trust you way more, because people get on sales calls with me and they're like, Maureen, I was scrolling on my YouTube and I saw you. Then I was on TikTok and you were there too. Then I was on Instagram and you were there. And it's like, yeah, it's personal brand affinity. People trust me because they see me everywhere. So they have no like problem paying me multiple thousands of dollars to coach them, because they know I'm the type of person that's going to show up on time to a call. And like literally yesterday, I had a guy from a high school architecture class text me, and he's like, get off my YouTube homepage. He doesn't even follow me on social media. And I was on his YouTube homepage. And it's like, it's because of consistency. And that was a repurposed TikTok video.
Yeah, and typically when something goes viral in TikTok, it just kind of goes viral in other places too, and sometimes it requires to post it multiple times and things like that. Maybe slightly change the hook or whatever, right? But typically, if it went viral, it's for a reason, like people liked it, right? So especially in on TikTok that is such interest based, and everybody's copying them right now. So for me, like I like Instagram more. In I just I think about TikTok all the time, and I'm like, maybe I should like do something like that of like, hey, TikTok more experimental. It's not Instagram, so I don't have to overthink it that much. And then from there, like take out like the most polished content and then put it on Instagram. That's a good strategy. I like that, and having everything that can be downloaded watermark free. And then going to the team or just a simple assistant, that can take care of that. Then that's a great strategy. Like what I do, I'm not post as much content, but I have like video content, like just talking like that. I guess I gotta get more vulnerable and get on that. But I do more of like, okay, I got from the podcast, from a couple talking heads, and then from that content, my team also does written content in LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is my main social media. That's what I get most of my clients. So and that's kind of like my mix to what I'm doing. But I love what you're doing, and really like it's so much easier to focus on the video, get it out there, get on TikTok, and then trickle out from there. I really like that. I just been procrastinating on it, to be honest.
Yes.
Uh, so let me see how much time we have on making sure that I don't go over. Uh, I what is we talk a little bit about tips. We talk about the systems. What I, I the next thing is, okay, I want to get the reps in. I have the systems in place. Like I know what I'm gonna do, but then what I'm gonna be talking about, right? A lot of people, we get imposter syndrome. I've been doing marketing for over 3 years, and I still sometimes it's like, oh, I don't know enough or whatever. But I know a lot because of been doing it for a long time in an effective way. But we all get those moments of like imposter syndrome. I don't know about anything. Like, what should I be talking about? How can I display my authenticity and not sound like a robot? Right? Like those questions are like what us content creators ask ourselves all the time. So, what do you say to that? I know you going in a rampage of like, let me get rejected a bunch of times. Is that like how you kind of build that confidence, or like can you tell us something about that?
Yeah, so what I always tell people is stop setting goals and start setting benchmarks. And this will feed into how I never run out of content ideas. So I used to be like, okay, I want to grow my audience on social media. I want to pour clients into my business. And now I just tell myself, here's the benchmark. Every day, 3 videos go out or 2 videos go out or whatever phase I'm in. Some days I'm uploading 10 videos across platforms. I just choose the benchmark for that week or that month. So I have the benchmark. And then I tell myself, I don't care how I make that benchmark happen, but that happens. Even if I'm talking about the fact that like my cat got hit on the side of the road, that video goes out. Like it doesn't have to be the most legendary scripted video ever. So like first I get the benchmark. So if you're a business owner and you're like, I can't come up with content ideas, I don't really care. Set a benchmark, because if you had to, you would. Like if there was actually something on the line, like you had to get 3 videos out that day, you could come up with 3 ideas. And then the second thing I tell business owners that can't come up with content ideas, or they're like, how do I turn my 3 million ideas into something that actually converts as content? I just tell them, what are your most commonly asked questions from your friends or your audience currently? And then just film a video you answering that question. So with that rejection therapy video that got 10 million plus views, people were always asking me like, Maureen, how do you have so much confidence? And I used to not be confident at all. Like I've always been an extrovert, but I used to walk into a grocery store and feel like, oh my gosh, is someone judging me? And I was like, I need to get over this. So I just looked at, okay, people are always asking me in content, or my friends are like, how are you confident? So I just filmed that video kind of talking to that person that's wondering that question. And I just filmed the 58-second response. Like, here's how I became confident. Here's how I achieved XYZ results. So step one, I would say, set the benchmark of here's how many videos you upload every day. And you get to that benchmark no matter what you post, because you'll come up with ideas. Like if you had to, you would. And then the second thing is just answer your most commonly asked questions from friends and family or people on social media, because that's what people want. They want to learn. And I built my whole business on educational based content. Like I'm just educating and providing free value and showing other people how to do what I did. And then that brings in one, an audience, which I don't really care about the audience. I care about helping clients, but like two, that brings in high quality clients. So that's exactly what I would tell someone that's in their beginning stages.
I like that. I like that. It's just I like that, especially the put the benchmark, you figure it out. At first, you might not be good. I mean, you most likely won't be good. But it's just embrace the suck, like we say on in the military. Like that's what I was taught in the military. It's like, look, sometimes we gotta be in Syria, we gotta be in Kuwait, Qatar, whatever. It kind of sucks, but if you embrace the suck, and we're doing it all together, and just like it's the mission that we need to complete, period. Then it's more bearable. So it's the same thing with like just put the benchmark, embrace the suck, that you're gonna suck for probably like the first 100 videos. So like it's part of it. You're gonna just go through it and figure it out along the way. And I'm saying this, I'm telling this to myself too, by the way.
Okay. What I also love thinking through too is so many times people are like, oh, it's hard to post 3 videos a day. And I remind myself, it is not hard at all. There are people that are roofing for 7 hours a day in the burning hot sun, and like they're melting on the top of a roof. And they do that every day for years to make 50K a year or 80K a year. And like we have the privilege, if you own a phone, you have the privilege to be able to take out that phone, record a talking video. And if you roof, great, film a talking video and show other people how to roof. Like you could literally monetize that on top of your job. Like whatever job you're working, you can bring in an additional income stream from content creation. And like sometimes I love thinking through like, yes, this is uncomfortable, like recording so much content every day, but that's making me a stronger person. Like I used to think, oh, I hate running. And then I was like, you know what? No, I'm a runner. And I just branded myself as I'm going to make that my new identity of I am a runner. I say the same thing, like I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a content creator. I said that before I was an entrepreneur and before I was a content creator. I was like, I'm going to make that my identity, and I'm going to make my identity someone that enjoys discomfort. So like when I was running a couple days ago, I was trying to get my fastest mile, and like I just remember thinking on the treadmill, like, oh my gosh, this hurts. Like, I don't like this. And then instantly I like kind of rethought over that thought, and I was like, I love the fact that this hurts. This is making me a stronger person. Do the same thing with content creation. Like it is so amazing that we live in an era where it's like you can just record a video on your phone and get paid thousands of dollars to do that if you do that for long enough. Whereas in the past, like people's jobs, it's like people used to have to farm for 12 hours a day just to make a livable income. But now you can record a video of you talking about anything and that's your income. So I like just putting it front and center that it's like there are people doing way harder things, and stop complaining about the fact that it's hard to post 3 videos a day. If you're the type of person that wants to make an income from your phone or work or travel off your laptop, ditching complaining and just embracing the fact that this is an era that is insanely valuable. Like today is the best day to start, because I honestly think in 3 years from now, it's going to be very hard to grow an audience, because right now, like in today's moment, there's so many consumers, but there's barely any creators on social media in comparison to the people that are consuming. And pretty soon people are going to catch on to the fact that like, wow, there's a need for creators right now. There's a need for people on the other side of the phone screen, not just being a viewer. And once people click onto that, it's going to be harder to compete. So like, if you want to start today.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. There's gonna be a time I'm expecting that it's gonna get so easy to record content. So for example, if drones that can use artificial intelligence to track you and get the best angles and then edit it and post it for you directly, like, or it's live, then it's posted like in minutes or seconds. So when things get that crazy, that advanced, then everybody's gonna be creating content, and then that things are gonna be a lot harder. So like right now we still, AI got democratized just not too long ago, which makes it a lot easier for those that take opportunity for them, because you do video, you can take the transcript of that and then use that into written content. You can do all those things. So if you stay ahead of the the trend. So before everybody catches up into, now everybody's a content creator. When things are hard, there's an opportunity, right? So it's taking advantage of the opportunity, and definitely thinking about like, okay, just gonna record content. I don't know what I'm gonna say all the time, but I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, it's just like the thing about not having time to create content, in my opinion, and based on my experiences, it's just the fear of being judged, of like, I spend this time to create this content, and now I'm like being judged by it, or it's not bringing any value to me, and it's like I spent all this time and effort, and I wanted to put these things, but if you make it so imperfect that it just like, I record it, I post it, not just let me edit all these little things, and let me add all everything that's perfect, and then you get 5 views. If you just did it in 58 seconds, one shot, one kill, bomb, you send it, then if you get 5 views, then you don't get that hurt, right? It's like, damn, like, and it's just not even the number, it's just the impact, right? If you don't see impact, then you're like, damn, I spent an hour editing that or something, right? So those are the kind of things that I see that stop people. I mean, I know it stops me, because sometimes it's like, damn, like, I can just focus on doing this other thing that I know is getting me clients, but then I know long term there's nothing better than building a brand through content and be omnipresent and all that. Like, I mean, I recommend this to my clients all the time. So it's just a matter of like, stop procrastinating, stop putting excuses, just get out there. That's why I started doing lives, because lives is the easiest thing. It's just live. It's happening right now. People can watch the replay. So that's something that I started doing. But like the TikTok part, I haven't, and I need to stop procrastinating on it, to be honest.
I love that. Like, I also love looking at make content one of the most fun parts of your day. So like in the beginning, I shared this in a YouTube video and it got tons of traction, but it's like, I hear so many people, and I used to say this too, I don't have time. Like, I'm a busy business owner, I'm booked out with clients, I don't have time to record content. But it's like, oh, but I used to have time to watch a movie at the end of the day. That's an hour and 36 minutes. Like, if I had an hour and 36 minutes to record content, so I just made content fun because I just cut out the distraction. So like, I live alone, I am working, filming content, or like once I finish that, then I go have fun. Then I go rock climb. Then I go spend time with friends. Then I give myself permission to do fun things. But first, it's like a non-negotiable of I'm literally sitting in silence. And I tell myself, like, hey, if you're burnt out, you can sit and you can look at a wall. And I'm like, great. So I'll do that for like 5 minutes. And then I'm like, you know what? I'd rather be filming right now. And then I'll film like 8 pieces of content. And then once I hit the benchmark, then I give myself permission to like, okay, let me go book an expensive massage, or let me go hang out with friends for 2 days. Like, let me do that. But so many times people, they put the other things first. They put themselves or their fun or something like that first, which is great. But it's like, I can actually have more fun with my friends because my business is operating at a level where it's bringing in so much income. I can just randomly book a cruise to the Bahamas. And like, that's more fun when I take a friend with me to the Bahamas. And that's what I did a few months ago. It's like, called a friend, hey, do you want to come with me to the Bahamas? And she was like, yeah, sure. But it's like, first I had to tell friends for a couple weeks, so like, hey, I can't hang out right now. I have to film this. And like, at first people didn't understand. Like, my friends or family, like, they didn't understand the idea of like, yeah, I'm locking myself in my cottage. Like, I literally a few months ago locked myself in my cottage for 100 hours alone. And it was extremely uncomfortable because I'm a people person. I love being at the gym. I love like chatting to people, but I was just in this cottage and I'm like, either I'm going to record content or I'm going to sit here and read books. And I read a lot of books and I filmed a lot of content, and that was the option. And then at the end of that 100 hours, I could then take like 2 months. I could literally go 2 months after that 100 hours and not film content, and there would still be enough content to go out there, which I know is extreme, but it's like, if you want to be in the top 1%, and I don't want to be in the top 1%, I want to be in the top 15%. That's good enough for me. I have no intentions of like being there, because the top 1% has to do the top 1% of work. And like, I'm good in the top 15% of work, or in the top 15% of content creators in 10 years from now. But I just say like, make content fun. Like, make that the good option, because when you have the option of Netflix, friends, calling people, watching YouTube videos, obviously you're going to choose that. You don't wake up just like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited to film. I don't wake up like that, and it's my full-time job. So I force myself to do it. And then that lets me have more fun and play and dance between the lines after the benchmarks have been hit. So it's like kind of living life on a little bit of the extreme, but it makes it way more fun.
Yeah, I mean it's like roller coasters. They're fun because like you're like, oh, it feels almost like I might die, but you don't die, and you get the ups and downs and all that, right? And that's more fun if the roller coaster was just like a straight shot and that's it. Like it wouldn't be that fun, right? You want those ups and downs and thinking that you might die. That extreme, that adrenaline. I think it makes it more fun in my opinion. Don't risk too much, right? But you gotta take risk and just take it with that perspective. That's what I do. I think this perspective all the time. So
Yeah. Oh my goodness, I love
um
that.
thank you for coming here. I mean, it's being a very fun conversation, and I look forward to learning more from you. Take action. I'm gonna even tag you like to for accountability. I'm just I just bought a lot of tech too. I spent over 2 grand on upgrading the tech in here, and I did this wall. I did a couple things, so I got no. Now I have even less excuse. So I got everything, and I know that this is the way that focusing on media, not only I help myself, but I help my clients because growing a platform that then I can promote my clients things and do collaborations, right? Like they're typically their services because I typically work with accountants and being able to grow their communities because I can leverage my own, then that it's not just about me, it's about the impact that I have with my clients and also just with the world in general because the more that I can get people together with the same mission and vision and values, then we can have propose movements together and have real positive impact in the world.
100%. I love that perspective because like you're motivating so many people through your content because there's a lot of people that it's like they want to get to that next level or they want to get where you are currently. And when you can show people the steps to make that happen, it's amazing because 200 years ago, someone couldn't Google on YouTube, how do I build XYZ? How do I do XYZ? But now people can. So there needs to be someone that shows people how to get to that next stage. And it's like, I just want to help the people that are one step behind me move forward. And then there's so many people that I look up to and they help me move forward as well. But it's like we're all collectively moving towards self improvement. And I think content creation can be the vehicle that makes that happen. So I love that you're going to lean into TikTok content. That'll be so much fun. And I'll be on the sidelines cheering for you.
Yeah, I've been thinking as you were talking. I'm like, okay, can I make can make a series? Can I make something? Because I want to make it as easy as possible. That I just have look. I know about this topic. I know that I can attack it at least 20 different ways, 30 different ways, 100 different ways, right? And then just talk about that. And I think about things that I post now. It's like I post about food, my food, because I intermittent fast almost every time unless I'm sick like a lot of simple ingredients and things. Then also like I do yoga a lot. Then and I'm starting to record myself more. Like I never recorded myself. It's like, oh, I look kind of like crusty or something. And then I started recording myself more. Now I'm taking my tripod everywhere and just put it there. If it's long time lapse, if not, then just put a couple of videos. I have 128 gigabytes, so like that gives me enough room. So I've been doing those things to really to just get out there. So I think I can just talk more about that. I mean, food. I can talk about infinitely about that, right? Like there's so many things and how simple I'm making it. I can literally just document. It's like, hey, this is what I'm eating today, and I kind of been doing like a food and business lives. That's what I was doing. It's like, oh, food and business with food, or something, right? Because it's like so that's what I'm playing with. Maybe instead of going, I can just go live on TikTok.
Yeah.
I got 2,000 followers, so I can go live. So I haven't gone live. One time I went like maybe 2 times or something, and one time it was like spike. It's like, oh shit, I didn't know what to do to keep them. so, um, but now I'm making it as easy as possible for me to create content, and
Mhm.
that's like an advice that I give to everybody. Just make it
Mhm.
as simple as possible. Like you got the settings, the lighting and stuff, and you just put your phone, hit record, start doing it, right. And then another thing is, if you don't have the one of the best setups that I have from it was, I think, media, it was Sean Cannell that I actually have in my podcast. He said a lot of people think, oh, I don't have like a quiet place for everything. The car. typically, especially if you do it during the day, it's like a
Mhm.
little sound booth, right? Like there's not much sound. If there's natural light coming in, not indirectly, it's good lighting. That's why a lot of people be recording in their cars. But I thought about it. I was like, damn, like I don't have an excuse because sometimes I'm being here and it's like, oh, there's like sounds and stuff. I could just go in the car, even if it's in my driveway, and record there as long as there's good lighting. So that's an advice that I heard, and I'm like, this is so obvious, but I just needed to be reminded, and I wanted to remind people that that's an option. And I want to close with this that I don't know who taught me this. I think I heard it from Alex Hermosi, but I don't know if you heard it from somebody else that he said we more often than not, we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. Like all these things that we said here, they probably have listened it from your content, from my content, and from other people. But it's just about reminding people, hey, this is not as hard. Yes, it's gonna suck, but just get the benchmarks done, get the reps in, and it's gone. So it's basic things, but sometimes we just need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. That's my closing thoughts.
I love that closing thought, and I'll add to that in saying that, like, you don't need new content every day. I say the same 5 things in my content. I've been saying the same 5 things for the last 2 years, and every single time it reaches new people. I think I've only gotten maybe 1 comment of someone saying, like, I think I've seen this video before. And I literally say the same things for the last 2 years, and now they're going viral. So it's like, even in your content, literally, you don't need new ideas. You just need to keep putting it out there because people need to be reminded, because if they see it, they're probably not taking enough action. So you just need to remind them, hey, this morning I intermittent fasted. Like, remind them that you did that, and then they'll be reminded that, like, oh, this is going to help me. Like, same thing with working out. We all know we should do it, or we all know that if we want to build a personal brand, we should post daily. But like, you and me will be here to tell the people listening to this podcast, like, yes, you've got this. Literally take out your phone, post it, and it will change your life if you build a personal brand.
I love it. I think that's what I'm gonna do as my series. Like the premise is we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. So yes, if you learn something new about what I'm saying, great. But if it's a reminder, then even better, because you probably need it even more because you already don't have an excuse because you know it. So I think that's a good premise to make my content. Thank you, like, for having this conversation that got me some good ideas.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me on.
So just to close this out, what type of people are you looking to connect with, and how can people find you?
Yeah, anyone that listened to this and was inspired, feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram. I love chatting to people that find me on podcasts. I have my own podcast called Content to Clients on Spotify and Apple, so you can listen to me there. And then for all the action takers that want to build your content repurposing system and grow your personal brand, I would love to have people join my Creator Circle membership. That's this poster behind me if anyone's watching it in video format. So many people are pouring into that. Basically, I put everything I've learned that enabled me to grow my personal brand from 0 to 60,000 in the last 2 years. So definitely join the membership if you want to work with me, and I will love to see everyone that pours in there.
Perfect. And just you submitted the form as long as I have all the links. All the links are gonna be in the description to connect with Maureen, and just follow our journey. Start your own journey, collaborate with us too, right? You have your own podcast. If you want to create content with us, just send us a message and we'll be happy to collaborate. So thanks, Maureen, for taking the time. I look forward to getting some clips for that. I know that we got some good clips in here, and then just keep posting content, aiming to have as much impact as possible.
Thank you for having me on.
So this was Maureen and Fu, and this is us signing off.
Thanks for listening to Moments with Fu with your host, Fu. Please leave your feedback and visit strategicadvisorboard.com to get the latest and greatest business advisement on the planet. Follow us on social media for updates, and we will see you on the next episode.